Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Amha Tadesse. I'm the CEO of Zemen Bank. I've attended, I think 4 years back, CRTO's event, similar event here, and I must say that, this by far exceeds prior, meetings that we had in terms of, people and in terms of content, and we need to give, some applause for the organizing team. You've done very well. Thank you so much. So, I just came in the morning now. I just barely had 1 hour nap. And I just kept, my open eyes because there was excellent presentations, and Anna, there was a lot of takeaways, which you hopefully should summarize for us because there was just a lot. And I'm happy to be back here. So, basically, I've worked for more than 22 years in digital space. Basically, I'm an IT guy, more talking about technologies and digital automations across, all these areas. So my topic is all about business banking and the importance of digital. Throughout the day, we've heard so many presentations, exciting, journeys, digital journeys, primarily focused on the retail market. So I will be focusing on a different customer segment, which is the business banking. This is our, as Zemen, this is, our focus area. So, I'll just quickly introduce you what Zemen is and what it does. So Zemen was founded in October 2008. It was primarily founded by, the diaspora community. When they come and started doing business in Ethiopia, they felt that they were not getting the right attention, as business companies. So they came to disrupt, the market, basically. So what they did is they sort of introduced a whole lot of, ideas, strategies. And I can mention some because there are a lot. One is, primarily focusing on business and corporate banking. That was the first when it comes to in the Ethiopian context. Second, they said we're going to operate in one branch. And for any high premium customers, we're going to provide, online services, or we're going to take the banking at their site. So this was also another unique thing. All the banks we used to provide, passbooks, that was never then. I'm talking about 2008 now. All were issued instant cards. So it was a disruptor in a way in the market. And the bank is known for innovation, customer service, and digital adoption. And Zemen is associated in that in the Ethiopian market. So we operate in Ethiopia, basically. The reason we went to 80 branches because of compliance that we had to do for central bank. At some point, the central bank said, you need to be 50 branches in order to be a bank. So we had to change our strategy, unfortunately. But we operate in a small branch network. 80, by the way, is a small network. Dashan is here. They are in 600, 700. Okay, we are 120 million. So this is about the bank. Basically, this is our head office that we're building now. We'll be moving to this location in 15 days' time when we go back. We're excited about this. So anybody coming in after 15 days will have a coffee treat overlooking Addis. So what are, our, I said, we are a business and corporate bank. So who are our clients? On this market, we are among the top in Ethiopia. And you can see on the aviation sector, these are known brands, Emirates, IATA, Lufthansa. On the manufacturing, known brands like Unilever, Coca, Pepsi, the list goes on. On farms, these are, I will be listing some of the use cases And Ladi was actually talking about, one important thing. Uh, Basically, for us, as Zemen Bank, why we were able to have all these clients is for two reasons. One, unlike the retail, consumer, business organizations and corporates need a whole lot of flexibility. You cannot push your standard products and services. So I'll be demonstrating some of the things that we do, and hopefully, Larry can put us on the leaders on the leaders quadrant that he was talking about. That was an interesting presentation, by the way. The other thing is, he talked about it again, customer experience. For corporates and business organizations, it's a different world, right? Basically, they need responsiveness, that's very critical, and a focused attention. He called it personalization, basically. So you need to provide those sort of services in order to stay in the market. Otherwise, in their fierce competition and hyper-connected world, they're not going to wait and, they're not going to wait for your decision to make. So I will be able to demonstrate some of the activities that we do around that. What are our value propositions, basically, so to say. It may be digital or otherwise. We operate in Ethiopia, and there are some challenges in terms of regulatory issues that we need to comply, and there are some of the things are manual. But the standard services that we provide, like any corporate banking, be it the account management, merchant services, payroll, we have the multi-channel online banking, API services, customizable API services. We always provide, those kind of digital services, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't survive and have all these companies in our portfolio. But I will be specific on some cases to show that where we uniquely, add value to the clients and address their pain points. I think that's the important thing, and that's why we are there, winning some of these clients, all right? That's my key takeaway, basically, if you so to say, on this presentation. The NGOs and international agencies, Addis Ababa is, I think, the third capital in terms of diplomatic community. Almost all of them are working with us. Breweries and wineries, they are known brands. Heineken Habesha is a local known brand beer. We have service sector, Radisson Blue, Safaricom, all this work with us. I mean, in terms of business and corporate banking, we're among the leader here in the market. So all the known brands are working with us. So why do they work with us? I think that's the point. So I'll be highlighting 4 use cases. Some of it is digital, some of it is just addressing their pain points, and how we are able to actually adopt our products and services to meet the clients' pain points in addressing their challenge. First one is Unilever. Unilever. They've been working with us for more than 11 years. And I'm associating this with the travel card that May was explaining earlier. I know that for most of you, corporate card is not an issue, but in Ethiopia it is, because for a long period of time, because of central bank regulation, the only thing that we could issue for our corporates and high net worth individuals when they travel was cash. There was a reporting and whatever that they wanted. And it was a challenge, basically. Us being a corporate bank, this has been a challenge for us. And, because of their network, they were having this cards through different means. Like, for instance, Unilever has office in Kenya. So they use, they leverage other networks that they have. But it was difficult to use their accounts, which is already sitting in our bank. So we have been pushing the central bank, to change this policy, and following, the government change back into 5 years ago, the new government said, there is a digital strategy in 2025, and it's an exciting It's an exciting strategy that the government put. There's a lot of things, you can look it up in the internet. So one of the things that we tried to push as part of this change was to introduce this card. Zemen Bank, because we are suffering due to this, we were pushing, and our CEO here, Mr. Dereje, is sitting. So we have convinced the central bank to provide us the go-ahead. And once it was provided, we were the first to jump in. And in 6 months, we created this travel and corporate card because it was a pain for our customers. Yeah, obviously, since you are, using the corporate card, I cannot explain everything. You know it. But for Ethiopians, it was an issue. Like, I think back in 2006, when I went to France, I wanted to use, the tour bus for, reviewing, for just overlooking the city. I don't have card, so there was no card literally issued. I have cash, and there were 2 tour buses coming in. They don't accept cash. That's in 2006. And I said, I need to have cards since then. So I had to use my friends who live in diaspora to give me prepaid card because it was a mess. So it was a challenge for us. So every Ethiopian has such kind of experience, and we need to tackle this. And with MasterCard and CR2, we were able to produce this. There were more than 13 vendors involved in this project. Anyways, the whole point is that we were able to be the first bank. Once this was we got the go-ahead from the central bank. We were the first bank to go on this. So the values, since you have corporate card, I don't need to explain. But anyways, all the corporates signed up now with us. So that you can issue those corporate cards. And as Maeve said, it was a multi-currency card. We went ahead with this. This was the first entry, for MasterCard. They put us here because it was the first entry point for MasterCard in Ethiopia, by the way. This was the first card issue the first MasterCard issued in Ethiopia. It meant a lot for them. And for us, it meant that we introduced the first contactless card in Ethiopia. And of course, this is in COVID time. We just used it, to promote this. We were also the first bank to acquire through our POS and ATM. And this goes with the branding that I said, and the way that we try to address the market. Second case that I'm going to talk about is Emirates. Emirates has been our client for more than 12 years. So, our bank is like 14 years old. So, for more than 12 years, Emirates has been, our main corporate client. So, in addition to the automated services that we provide for corporates, there are 2 things here for their ticket payments that we do. One is, if you go online to make payment through Emirates using ETB, the ETB means the Ethiopian birr, one option is to pay at the bank, and that bank is Zemen Bank. Why? Again, it goes to the regulation. They have to present documents, passports, IDs, and what have you, in order to repatriate, the profit that they make. So, that I think there is an issue with Emirates with Nigeria, right? In terms of so it's a serious issue in Africa. So, luckily they are still operating there. They have no issue. If they can present those documents, they still can repatriate their profit. But the whole point is we are there. They trust us that, we collect those documents for them. And when they come through agent, which is those 80 branches that I alluded earlier, we collect the documents, ensuring that, they provide it to the central bank. The other thing, when when you go to the Emirates office, again, I'm talking about, the Ethiopian card payment. If you have other denominated cards, then you can just go the credit or debit cards and you can make a payment. But for the Ethiopian market, you have two options. One is Zemen Bank branch. The other one is Emirates office. And what do you find in Emirates office? This. So this is Emirates office. The stuff that you see are Zemen Bank staffs. So what we've done is we have a doorstep banking service. So doorstep banking service is an on-site service where we collect cash for our clients. But in Emirates' case, we've customized this product, and we literally are in their workflow process. So they do their sales, we make their payment. So basically, all they'll be worried about is reconciliation. Everything is done from Zemen Bank side. So this is addressing another pain point of a major client. So obviously what Emirates gets is they focus on their main business, it's just only reconciliation, it's cost effective, they don't need to put, some employee there, and we get the customer contact, which is a win-win situation, all right? The third one is the American Medical Center. This is a health sector. This is owned by a doctor coming from a diaspora. And this guy is genius, actually. He has a medical center in US. He has, a private hospital in Ethiopia. And they were famous during COVID. They have a special ward, and they were treating, all patients, and they had good track record. I don't know if you have seen Larry's presentations 3 years back, Oracle CTO. Has anybody seen, the Oracle's? Please look it up in, in YouTube. He was explaining about, how U.S. and the world were, grappling with to actually manage COVID. And, in terms of, technology assisting that service, you'd be amazed. I mean, he was talking about, how Oracle, Oxford, and a whole lot of health institutions were actually, trying to solve this big problem in terms of data management. The AI was used and what have you. It was an excellent presentation. I was there. But the most important thing that he talked about that, which sort of gave me some sort of assurance, is that for the next pandemic, humankind is better prepared. If you listen to him, it was an exciting presentation. And the way they have done it is that, with the AI and, with their cloud and what have you, they provide the technology. They have provided, all the scientists involved, and they say that they will be able to know better and, counteract any pandemic coming in. But there was a question for me, right? So what is going to happen for the developing world? And I think this guy, somehow answers that question. So he has created a sort of telemedicine. He called it Habari Doc. Habari is a Swahili name. I don't know if... so, his vision is to work on the African level. And he has set up an office in Ethiopia and Rwanda. So basically, I think one important lesson, by the way, for COVID is, during even the presentation that Larry was making was, should a next pandemic come, any outpatient could not go to a hospital, right? That's obvious. And, it's a matter of when. Now everybody says that, a pandemic is going to come. It's only that Bill Gates guy who thought that, 5-6 years by year, that smart guy, thought about this. But now everybody knows that there's going to be a next pandemic, right? It's a matter of when. So when that happens, you know, solutions like telemedicine is going to be, the solution, where you would be able to have that remote kind of service for the outpatients. And this is what this guy is doing. He has built some super app, linking up some pharmacies and laboratories and what have you. And Zemen Bank here comes in as a payment aggregator. We have been chosen by this company. We work with them, and we are integrating our APIs for the local and international payment. The other interesting story that they're trying to make is they're linking up the diaspora community with the local local loved ones. So basically, they have created an insurance premium, so that the diaspora in US and Ethiopia can help. It's about 1 million. There are about 1 million Ethiopians living in US and Canada. So he has created, an insurance premium package, so that they will be able to support their loved ones back home. So you'll be able to generate additional revenue, right? So in all these cases, we are supporting in their payment, and we have a flexible, APIs developed for payment. It's not fixed for X or Y, so we integrate with any company, and we're working with them. The other one is this biodiversity conservation. This is an NGO. It's a crowdfunding. For this one, we've built a platform, a portal, and we've integrated a payment so that they'd be able to continue and grow their business. So I'm just trying to tell you, our flexibility and the things that we do, and there's just no one size fits all kind of solution when it comes to business and corporate banking. So these are the values for the biodiversity. Of course, they keep their donations. Their donors keep their funding them. So this is a happy face that we have done for a second project with MasterCard. So one of their APIs actually is from MasterCard. We've built a solution around it. We have an exciting partnership with MasterCard. Last but not least is Share Ethiopia. Share Ethiopia is the largest rose grower in the world. They operate out of Ethiopia. We've been working with them for more than 13 years. Basically, we again provide a whole host of services, right? But I think the unique service that we provide them is the payroll payment, and those payroll payments are for 13 to 15,000 employees. We have tried to make it digital. We can talk later, but there are a lot of requirements around it. These are daily laborers. Some of them don't have IDs, so they don't comply to the kind of requirement that we currently have. But the laws are changing now, so if we come probably 1 or 2 years later, then I'll be able to talk about this success stories being automated, hopefully, because the laws are changing. Government is also pushing on the digital inclusion. But this is one pain area for Share Ethiopia, because you need to make payment for 13 to 15,000. Sometimes it goes even to 20,000, and this is the largest kind of payment in Ethiopia. So how we do it is we don't have 30, 40 tellers sitting in one structure. We have tellers that fill up ATM. They are in multi-channel department. We have in finance. We have in branch. So we organize all these services, and we provide this service to them. And we've never failed them so far. But there is just to show the flexibility of the bank. We have one incident. There was a riot at some point because some famous artist died, and the roads were blocked, and hotels and what have you were not accessible. So we couldn't make this kind of payment. So what we did is basically, have you seen Money Train, by the way? There's a film called Money Train. It's that kind of movie. so nobody has a crush on Jennifer. Okay, it's a 19. It's around 1990. So basically, what we did was, we tried at the exec team discussing, exploring what we should do about this, because they were worried that, if payment is not made, serious damage is going to happen. This is, as I told you, a largest plant. For us also, we are worried about the safety of our staff. So what we did was, we discussed with the federal force, and we had to take that journey. But it's not only about the cash sorting and what have you. During that day, that was a problem. We had to sort of, it literally became a camping trip, basically, because there is no hotel service. And luckily, the writers were not armed, so we managed to go through with the support of the federal force. But once we were able to do that, we duly recognized all the party involved, the staffs, the federal force, the drivers, everybody, in the presence of the board, the exec, and the company. And you just imagine being that company now, as a bank. So it matters. This kind of service matters. So in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say is, this is how we portray ourselves in the market, that we are a bit different, and we try to live up to it, okay? And so far, we're managing well. So, as they say, it's the icing on the cake that matters, right? So thank you very much for listening to me, and just have a lovely evening. Thank you so much.